My daughter-in-law stole my $3 million ring for a party. Like IT belonged to her, so tell me, what would you do if someone treated your life like their personal showroom? I didn't even know it was gone until I saw her photos online. My ring on her hand, smiling like it was a trophy. And when I confronted her, she didn't deny it. She rolled her eyes and said I wasn't using it anyway. That was the moment something inside me cracked, so I made one call. Just one, to my lawyer. Within minutes, a theft case was filed. The fur was registered, and the clock started ticking against her. She thought she was untouchable. She had no idea what was coming. 2 hours later, police raided her house, and what they found shattered everything she believed about power. Ownership and consequences. She wanted my ring for a party, but she ended up facing a truth she never expected. Keep watching, because what happened next changed my entire family forever. I keep seeing it happen over and over again inside my mind's eye. Her hand lifting casually, my ring flashing brightly, like she owned everything. I stand in my hallway, lights dim and warm evening shadows stretching quietly across the wooden floor as my thoughts scatter like broken glass everywhere. My chest feels tight, my breathing goes uneven because it wasn't the theft. It was the disrespect, the arrogance, the entitlement. The way she smirked, I replay her words slowly, dripping with fake innocence. Relax, you weren't using it. As if my life's memories were some forgotten accessory for her cheap. Weekend thrilled up, my hands tremble slightly as I scroll the photos, the ones she posted proudly at some crowded rooftop party, laughing among her friends, wearing my ring boldly. The lamp beside me flickers, then settles into silence as if even the room is holding its breath, waiting for what comes next, watching me fall apart. I sit down slowly, leaning forward with tension, my elbows on my knees, the weight pressing heavily, pressing deeper and deeper until I can barely inhale. This ring wasn't jewelry. It was memory, legacy, history, a piece of my mother, a piece of responsibility, a promise I protected stubbornly for years without fail. She didn't just steal it. She violated something sacred. And what hurt even more was knowing she believed she would face nothing, not even the slightest consequence. I whisper under my breath, voice steady but quiet. She thinks I'm afraid. But the truth rises up from somewhere deep. Old, fierce, I'm not afraid anymore. I reach for my phone, not rushing, but deliberate, every movement sharp. Focused, my fingers firm and calm, as if guided by truth, not anger or impulse. The night air stiffens as I press call, and my lawyer answers immediately, his tone crisp and alert, asking what happened exactly and why I sound different. I tell him everything in short. Controlled breaths, the photos, the ring, her smirk, her dismissal, the value, the violation, the line she crossed. He doesn't interrupt once. He just listens deeply, pen scratching in background, until finally he exhales with this steady assurance that straightens my spine again. It's theft, he says. Clear, undeniable, documented theft. No hesitation. No doubt. Just clean, sharp certainty that slices through the darkness running across my living room. I feel my heartbeat shift, slowing, grounding, strengthening, as if the air changes, as if the house itself finally stands beside me instead of against me. We'll file immediately, he says. The words settle heavily, but also give me breath. Cold air filling me with something stronger, steadier. A quiet kind of justice. The moment he hangs up, the silence around me deepens, almost humming with tension, like the world is waiting for the first domino to fall in the chain. I place the phone down smoothly on the table, my fingers still trembling, but this time from resolve, not fear or doubt, but something far sharper. Somewhere across the city, she's still at that party, still laughing, still posing, still flaunting my ring like a prize she earned instead of a crime committed. She has no idea what midnight truly brings. She has no idea what is already coming. She has no idea how this night ends, because the police will knock soon enough. And when they do, she'll learn something painful. She learns something unforgettable. She'll learn consequences exist, even for her. The digital clock blinks, marking the passing seconds, and with each soft blink, my resolve hardens further until finally I realize there's no turning back now. And then suddenly my phone lights up, buzzing, her name flashing brightly, calling me at midnight, calling me after stealing, calling me after mocking me. My heart stops briefly. I stare at the screen, wondering what she wants and what she's about to say before everything erupts completely. The phone keeps ringing, vibrating softly on wood, its glow cutting sharply through the dim silence, spreading across my room like a growing storm. I don't answer immediately. I just watch the name flicker on the screen with this strange calm that feels heavier now than any rising anger. She shouldn't be calling. Not after what happened. Not after the smirk, the photos, the lies, the ring on her hand like a trophy she stole. The vibration finally stops, then starts again instantly, more frantic, more insistent. Like she suddenly senses something shifting around her, something closing in fast. I let it ring once, twice, 3 long times, before I finally answer, bringing the phone up slowly to my ear with steady, quiet breath. Her voice jumps out sharp, irritated, defensive. Why are cops calling? I feel my jaw tighten, but I say nothing, letting the silence speak. She exhales harshly, annoyed, like she's the victim, like she's been wronged, like I'm the unreasonable one in this twisted, stolen moment she created all alone. You're overreacting, she snaps. It's just a ring, okay? Her tone slices badly, careless, entitled, dismissive. The exact voice she used when she took what's mine. I close my eyes slowly, letting the heaviness settle. Because her words confirm she doesn't understand anything. Not value, not legacy, not respect or boundaries. It's $3 million. I say calmly, firmly. She scoffs instantly, loud, like I'm making it up, like I'm trying to scare her, like reality bends for her. Then I hear shifting noise, music fading in background. Someone laughing behind her, the party still going. Still loud, still careless, still wearing my ring. I'm serious, she murmurs. Her voice suddenly lower, edges softer, more cautious. Like doubt finally enters and cracks her confidence just enough to tremble. That's insane, she whispers. Why would you have that? I don't answer her question. I just let her fear grow. Let truth sink deeper. Let consequences wrap around her. Where's the ring? I ask, my tone steady, cold, the kind of cold that comes from betrayal. Not rage or impulse, but painful, clear betrayal. She hesitates too long. I hear footsteps behind her, someone asking something softly. And her breath quickens suddenly, like she's realizing something missing, something slipping from control. It's here somewhere, she mutters without conviction. Her voice is shaking now, thin, uneven, breaking slowly like the start of panic she never thought she'd feel. It better be, I say, quiet but undeniably firm, because she finally understands this isn't a game anymore. This isn't a misunderstanding. This is real legal fire. She inhales sharply, then, like she's about to argue. But another sound erupts, a loud knock behind her echoing through phone speakers. Strong enough to silence her, my breath freezes instantly. I know that knock. I know that tone. I know that timing. Police, they arrived early. Earlier than expected. Much earlier than planned. She gasps loudly, terrified. What did you do? Her voice shoots upward into pure, trembling panic. No arrogance left anywhere. Fear flooding everything. I don't speak anymore. The knocking grows louder, fist against wooden door. Commands echoing sternly inside, asking her to open, now asking her to comply immediately. Her breathing becomes chaotic. I hear footsteps scrambling, objects falling on floor, her voice cracking badly. Calling for my son, desperate, her fear spiraling out loud. And in that moment, hearing all that chaos, all that sudden reckoning, I feel something shift deep, something heavy inside me. Something painfully bittersweet. This wasn't revenge. This was consequence. This was accountability. This was truth meeting action. This was the moment she never believed would come. Then suddenly the phone drops hard, clattering against something, and I hear yelling, more footsteps rushing in, commands sharp and echoing. I lean forward slowly, heart pounding, steady now, listening to everything unfold on the other side of a single phone call that changed everything tonight. Then, the line goes silent, completely silent. But the story is nowhere near over, because what happens next shakes the entire family in ways none of us could ever take back. And it starts with one unexpected question someone asks me tomorrow. A question that forces me to decide something bigger than justice or punishment. Something that might change all of us forever. Morning light slips through curtains, soft but unsettlingly bright, touching the edges gently of a night that didn't end. A night still echoing loudly inside my tired, heavy mind. My phone keeps buzzing again. Small vibrations on the dresser, each one carrying more tension. More questions, more consequences, waiting for me to answer what I'm not ready for. I sit up slowly, breathing, letting the room settle quiet. Letting my heartbeat soften after hours of restless thinking. After everything that unfolded through one single phone call. Then a louder knock comes, firm against my front door. A knock too familiar now. Too sharp, too official sounding. Pulling me from my thoughts with one heavy pulling motion. I step toward the hallway, my feet cold on floor. My breath catching slightly halfway because I already know who's standing out there waiting. What questions they're bringing. I open the door slowly and two officers stand waiting. Their expressions calm, serious, controlled. Their presence filling the doorway with a weight I can feel inside my chest instantly. Ma'am, we need you, they say, to come down to station. Their tone isn't accusing me, but it's heavy, unavoidable, necessary. And my stomach sinks deeply as I nod without arguing. The car ride feels unreal. Streets passing in blurred pieces. Morning sun too bright today, world to normal outside. While everything inside me feels changed, shaken, rearranged. I keep replaying last night, her laughter echoing behind music. Her confidence dripping off every word, her denial, her arrogance, her fear. And finally that frantic moment when the police knocked loudly. But now, walking inside station, everything feels heavier again. Like another truth is waiting. Something I haven't faced yet. Something deeper than theft. Something they haven't told me. They lead me to a room, bright overhead lights humming. Cold metal table centered neatly, two chairs facing each other. The air strangely still inside, like it's holding its breath. I sit down quietly, tense, my fingers intertwined tightly together, waiting for someone to enter, waiting for whatever comes next. Trying to slow my heartbeat even though it keeps racing. The door opens behind me, and the detective steps in, placing a folder on table, its edges worn and heavy, holding something I'm not expecting, something that changes everything. He sits across from me, folds his hands carefully together, and looks at me firmly, not unkindly, but seriously, like he knows this moment will change the whole story. "We need to talk," he says, "about your daughter-in-law's statement." My pulse jumps instantly upward, a tight shock hitting hard. Because I know her pattern lies first, blame second, chaos third, but his expression isn't angry. It's complicated, thoughtful, layered, and that unsettles me deeper. Because this feels different now, bigger than stolen jewelry. Bigger than last night's chaos. He opens the folder slowly, turns it toward my side, and the first photograph hits a picture of the ring. But not on her hand and not in her house. It's shattered, completely shattered, ripped apart in tiny pieces scattered across a dark counter. Scratches glinting under lighting, the diamond cracked straight through. Like someone hit it hard. My breath catches violently. My hands stop moving instantly. The room feels suddenly smaller, the air sharp and cold. My chest tightening painfully fast because this changes everything now. She didn't lose it, he says. She destroyed it. On purpose. His words land like concrete. Heavy, irreversible, devastatingly clear, tearing through every assumption I carried into this morning. She tried to hide it. He continues. Before officers reached her house, my throat closes immediately tight. My eyes burning with shock, my heart twisting painfully inward. Grief mixing suddenly with betrayal, destroyed, not misplaced, not stolen to return, destroyed to hurt me, destroyed like it meant nothing, destroyed like I meant nothing. I swallow hard, slowly, painfully, my voice stuck deep inside. Because this isn't just theft, this is spite. Cruelty, intention, a wound she wanted inflicted. One she carved deliberately. The detective leans forward slightly, and his next sentence freezes me, locking every breath inside my chest, changing the rest of the story in one swift, brutal moment. She said your son knew, claimed he helped her. She said he was involved. The room stops spinning. The lights blur instantly. My heart rips open sharply. My hands go ice cold. The world tilts sideways quietly. Because this is worse, and before I can breathe. He asks me one question, the question that decides everything, the question I'm terrified to answer, the question that will break someone no matter what I choose. Do you want to press charges? I look down slowly, trembling, the weight crushing my chest, because justice isn't simple now. It's not just her anymore. It might be him too. My own son tangled inside this dot, and in that moment, I realize the next choice will change my family forever, no matter which direction I choose. No matter who it saves, no matter who it destroys. The detective waits silently. I close my eyes tightly, and the world holds still. Because my answer is going to shatter everything that comes next. The hallway feels colder. Now like something invisible shatters slowly. As I hear James breathing hard, standing half inside the doorway. One hand gripping the frame like he's holding himself upright because truth just broke him in one unforgiving instant. I step closer. Carefully, my chest tightening with dread, his eyes won't meet mine, his shoulders start trembling again, and he whispers so quietly like he's confessing to God. I didn't know anything, baby. His voice cracks open painfully. I thought she was overwhelmed. I thought she needed time. Thought she was good. Those words cut deeper than police sirens ever could because I hear the regret, the disbelief, the shame all folding into each other like a man waking violently from a dream he trusted blindly for far too long. He finally looks at me and something inside him collapses completely, utterly without room for denial. Tell me everything, he breathes. Tell me what she's done. Tell me why you're shaking. My hands feel weightless. Suddenly my voice trapped in my throat because truth is heavy and grief has sharp edges and betrayal leaves fingerprints you can't wash off. Still, I steady my breath and I tell him the truth, piece by brutal piece. Each word dropping slowly like broken glass hitting concrete. I kept quiet for months. She bullied me constantly. Just said I wasn't needed. She screamed at me daily. She took my money. Secretly. She disrespected my home. She slapped me on Christmas. She stole my ring tonight. She mocked you behind doors. She bragged you'd never doubt her. She said you were blind. She said I was disposable. She said she'd take everything. James's face tightened sharply at darkness, moving behind his eyes, not anger exactly, but something deeper, primal. Protective, a soundless vow forming before he even flays. Speaks. Where's the ring? He asks. His voice is low now, steady, controlled, but trembling underneath. In evidence, I whisper softly. They found it in her closet. It's hidden in a shoe. Box next to fake. Receipts and stolen envelopes. A list of passwords. He stares at me, stunned, like the world flipped sideways, and he can't catch his breath because the illusion just died right in front of him. He runs both hands through his hair, roughly pacing backwards slowly like he's walking. through ashes of a life he didn't know was already burning. How long? He asks finally, barely breathing the words. How long has she hated you? How long have you been scared? How long did you suffer alone? My throat tightens again because truth hurts even when spoken softly. Since the beginning, I answer. She never liked me. She never wanted me. She wanted your money, not your family, not your mother, not a life with honesty, just control, just power, just everything you owned. James stands still suddenly, his chest rising. Sharply, like something inside him finally clicks into place. Mom, he whispers quietly. I need you to listen. His voice shakes with fury and heartbreak woven tightly. Together, you're not alone anymore. I'm not letting her near you. I'm not letting her manipulate me. I'm not letting this continue. I'm ending this tonight. Feel my breath shatter, not from fear, but something else, something unfamiliar, something warm like strength returning slowly after being buried under silence for far too long. But before I can answer, a sharp knock hits the door, fast, aggressive, demanding. James stiffens instantly. I freeze where I stand and sirens echo faintly. Outside, still circling the neighborhood, he steps forward carefully. His jaw clenched tight, his voice low but steady. That's them, he says. Detectives want statements, right? And she wants to talk. But this time, his eyes lock onto mine, filled with fire I've never seen. We're doing it my way. The knock grows, louder, impatient, unforgiving, as shadows stretch across the walls, and every breath in the room feels like the edge of a cliff. And that's when I realize the real confrontation hasn't even started yet. The truth is coming, whether we're ready or not. And she is on the other side of that door. The knocking keeps getting louder, harder, sharper, like the whole night is demanding answers. We can't hide anymore, James. Moves first, slowly, his breath steadying himself as he reaches for the handle but pauses. Halfway there, just long enough to look back at me. That look says everything: fear, pain, loyalty, and a promise he intends to keep no matter how ugly the truth becomes tonight. I nod silently, and he opens the door, letting in cold hallway air, and two detectives step inside, faces firm, voices calm, but eyes already knowing exactly why they're here. Behind them, I see her, standing stiff, arms crossed tightly, eyes wild and furious, like she's the victim, like she's the one hurting, like the world wronged her instead of her choices. She stares straight at me with a coldness so sharp I feel it slice the air between us. For a moment, the room goes silent, the kind of silence that feels dangerous, like a storm. Leaning forward, holding its breath, Detective Morales speaks gently, though her tone is firm. Professional, measured, the voice of someone who's seen truth cracked open too many times. We're collecting final statements, she says carefully before we proceed further. Everyone stays calm. Everyone stays respectful. Everyone gets a chance to talk. But my daughter-in-law snaps instantly, her voice rising like fire that's been waiting to explode. This is insane. She screams. She's lying about everything. She's trying to ruin my life. She planted the ring herself. She wants my marriage destroyed. She wants him back under her. She's manipulating all of you. Her words twist sharply, wild, desperate, scraping the walls like broken metal. But James steps forward quickly, raising one hand warningly, his voice low, controlled but burning inside. Stop, he says firmly. Just stop talking. She turns to him, shocked, like she can't believe he just shut her down. James, baby, listen. To me, she reaches for him, but he steps back once, and she freezes in place. Her hand suspended midair, like it just hit a barrier she never expected. Don't call me that, he says quietly, but the hurt in his voice is sharp enough to echo across the room. Her eyes widen at the tone, the distance. The truth she can't swallow. Detective Morales clears her throat, soft but deliberate. The ring was found in your closet, she states calmly, along with cash envelopes. password lists, and documents suggesting future access plans. My daughter-in-law flinches hard, then tries to recover, but the panic shows in the shake of her fingers, in the uneven breaths, in the way her eyes dart around, searching for a lie that hasn't been invented yet. That's not true. She screams. You're framing me with her. She hates me. She's jealous of me. She wants this house. She wants my husband. She chokes on her own fury, and tears spill over sharp hot, not from innocence, but from losing control. James finally speaks, and the entire room stills. You slapped my mother, he says quietly, too quietly, like every word is a stone dropping straight from his chest. You stole from her. You insulted her. You screamed at her. You humiliated her. You threatened her, and you thought I'd never know. She shakes her head quickly, stepping toward him, pleading voice, trembling now, grasping at whatever is left. James, please, she whispers. I wasn't thinking. I just borrowed it. She misunderstood. I was stressed. I didn't mean, but he interrupts her with one shaking breath. No, he says firmly. You meant all of it. You meant every word. You meant every insult. You meant every threat. You meant every slap. You meant every lie. She breaks, then fully, completely, like something inside her snaps, and she grabs his shirt, desperately clinging like a drowning woman. I can fix this, she sobs. I can explain everything. Just don't let them. Her eyes shoot to the detectives, filled with terror. No, not remorse. But he gently removes her hands, one finger at a time, like peeling away memories that never belonged. Let them do their job, he whispers quietly. You made your choices. She collapses to the floor, crying uncontrollably, sound tearing out of her raw, broken, unfiltered. Detective Morales kneels beside her, speaking softly, professionally, as another officer steps forward to assist. James turns toward me, then his eyes filled with sorrow and a pain. I feel across the room, Mom, he whispers. I'm so sorry. His voice shakes thick with regret and guilt and the weight of waking up too late. I step closer slowly, my heart aching, not with triumph, not with victory, but with something heavier, something bittersweet, something painfully human. I touch his arm gently, and he looks at me like a man realizing the truth was beside him all along. And I say quietly, with all the softness I've kept hidden for years, I didn't want revenge. I just wanted peace. I just wanted respect. I just wanted my son back. His eyes fill instantly, and he pulls me close, holding me so tightly I feel every apology in the way his arms tremble. I'm here, he whispers. I'm not leaving you again. Not for anyone. Not ever. And finally, that cold place in my chest, the one carved by years of silence and disrespect and loneliness, begins to thaw slowly. Detective Morales approaches gently, her tone respectful, her eyes kind. We'll take her in now, she says softly. You can rest tonight. We'll update you tomorrow. I nod slowly, watching as they lead her out, her legs shaking, her face pale, her eyes wide with fear of consequences she never believed would come. The door closes behind them, and the house falls quiet, a soft, tired, healing kind of quiet. James exhales shakily, like he's been holding his breath for years. I should have seen it, he says. I should have protected you. I should have listened sooner. I take his hand gently and shake my head. We can't change what happened. We can only choose what happens next. He nods slowly and sits beside me like a child again, leaning into my shoulder, seeking comfort he forgot he needed. We sit in silence, a long, deep, peaceful silence, the kind that mends slowly, softly, honestly. And it hits me then quietly, unexpectedly, the truth I needed. Sometimes justice isn't loud, isn't explosive, isn't dramatic. Sometimes justice is a son finally seeing clearly, finally returning home, finally standing by his mother. Sometimes healing starts in the same room where pain once lived, and sometimes the loudest revenge is simply reclaiming the respect and love that should have been yours all along. I close my eyes gently breathing in peace for the first time in a very long time. And that's when I realize, with a calmness so deep it feels like light, sometimes silence isn't weakness. It's patience, strength, it's grace, it's survival. And sometimes silence is the loudest answer you can ever give.